I was having a whole debate recently. I was at the gym earlier, and this dude was like, man, you out here telling women to be single and to die alone and all that kind of stuff. You want people out here being single. In fact, I want the exact opposite, but I kind of knew where he was going. And I was like, what's the problem with a woman being single? You don't know that woman's story. You don't know her reasons. He was like, man, it don't matter her reasons. It ain't no such thing as a woman that wants to be single. I'm like, how you figure? He said, well, if she could have the man that she wanted, she would be with him. So in that case, she's not single by choice like you be telling women to be and how they be saying that ain't the case. That's what I'm saying. He's like, these women out here, they want to be in a relationship, but they're in denial because of people like you. You the one that making them feel like it's good to be single when in reality they know that they want somebody. Okay, let me just say this. Just same way I told him, I'm going to let y'all know. And any man watching this, and I want sisters to kind of weigh in on this. Tell me if I'm speaking facts when I say being single is not sad when you survive the relationship that almost destroyed you. And there is a such thing as being purposely single. So what I compared it to, I was like, you know what? If a person goes out of town and they want Ruth Chris, you just know you want some good steak. You want it at a really nice restaurant. You want the best of the best, right? But the only thing there are fast food joints, shake spots, McDonald's, etc. That woman or that person, whoever, may say, you know what? I'd rather just be hungry. I'd rather just be hungry. Now, does that mean she doesn't want Ruth Chris or a quality steakhouse or whatever experience? No, clearly she does. But she's saying, I will not settle for something that's unhealthy, quick and easy, and not up to standard. So at that point, she is single by choice. And I think a lot of people that try to crucify women who are intentionally single, they miss that part. Y'all out here thinking that women who are intentionally single don't want a great man, a man that comes equally yoked, who comes prepared, who's compassionate, who's intelligent, who is mentally stimulating. That's not what women who are intentionally single are saying at all. They're saying, I'd rather be hungry, fast, whatever, just drink on my little juice, my little water, than to stop by this little Shake Shack, McDonald's burger spot that's full of greasy food, probably failed the health inspection, ain't gonna have me going to the bathroom. I'd much rather just be hungry a little while longer. I ain't starving, but I'd much rather just be hungry. Like it's people don't understand. It's so much better to just be thirsty rather than to drink poison. If those are your two options, and I'm not even saying that women who are intentionally single are literally thirsty or starving or anything like that, but that's the insinuation when people try to crucify a woman that's intentionally single, that's keeping her standards high, that's walking around without a man. Do y'all know what the alternative is? Y'all know what the alternative is, right? There is, like, I want my sisters out there to take more pride in being single because you are having a certain standard on who's going to come into your life. If you are saying I'm single because you got to first upgrade my quality of life from what I've already established in singleness or else get out my face, that's called being single by choice. And again, I told him, I'm going to tell y'all who listening and ladies, some of y'all probably already know. Tell me if I'm speaking facts. Please tell me. Let me look down in the comments. Put I down in the chat if you can relate to anything I'm saying. I can't see it on my phone. Put I down in the chat. If what I'm saying making sense to you, if you picking up what I'm putting down, put I down in the chat when I say being single, as much as you may be a lover girl and want love, being single is not that sad and depressing and lonely when you survive the relationship that tried to take you out of here. When you gave your all to somebody and they left you basically looking for you, looking for yourself. And by the way, if you've ever been in that situation, if you've ever had to recover the broken pieces of your heart and you healing from something or ever healed from something that you didn't cause, you didn't deserve, my book, Don't Forget Your Crown, will walk you through that process. You don't have to do that alone. Thousands and thousands of women. If you go on Amazon right now, you'll see this is my best-selling book. This isn't even my most recent. This is my best-selling book. I think 4,500, 4,600 reviews on Amazon, 4.6 out of 5 stars. You can get it on there for $30 or you can comment the word crown. I'll send it to you for free. I just realized a lot of y'all didn't even know I wrote books. I've written books. I have books that I published this year. And it's not that they don't sell, because there's over 500,000 sold so far. You can see the reviews speak for themselves on Amazon, but I'll literally give you the ebook and audiobook absolutely free. Click the link that I just pinned, or just comment the word crown. I'll send it to you for free. But back to what I was saying. I really, really want to speak to this concept because there's so many misconceptions around today's single woman. Women today are not going without a man because they can't get one. I'm going to just speak from my perspective as a man. Like, from the outside looking in, people will call you lonely, but you call it peace. They'll call you picky. You call it protected. They'll call you bitter. You call it informed. That's single by choice. After you've been coupled with catastrophe, there's nothing sad about being single by choice, about choosing yourself after you barely survived another person's demons that they were fighting and they brought you into that fight. Being single isn't the failure people try to make it out to be. It's your freedom from men who treated you, should I say, the relationship with you, like they were hostage situations. I'm gonna be the one to say it, because you know they like to try to cancel me anyway. They can't whoop me. I can fight. But as a woman, when you're single, I don't want you to hold any shame, because you're not avoiding love. You're avoiding repeating the lessons that almost killed you the first time. And honestly, being single and whole, it beats being partnered and broken every single time. Single is actually drama free. Absolutely. Your single season is actually your survival celebration. You escape with your life and you calling that sadness. People like to try to call that sadness. And just because a woman is single doesn't mean she's lonely. Just because a woman is single doesn't mean she's lonely. People who pity your singleness, they don't understand what you survived to get there. Being alone after you've been in something toxic, that's healing, not heartbreak. That's why, even though I don't encourage, or should I say promote, divorce, can we keep it all the way real? I don't promote divorce, but it's a whole lot better than being in a marriage with somebody who's not doing their part, who's using that proximity to you to just destroy you every single day, and you feeling like you're dying inside. It's actually better. That breakup saved you. That divorce saved you. But we live in a society that tries to heap shame on people who had the courage to walk away, when there's a lot of people who would be better off if they had that same courage. Let me see. Somebody said, is this live? Yes, it is. Utiva says, I look terrible. When in my last relationship, it was draining, carrying a relationship by myself. Now that I'm free to glow up, happily single. Absolutely. I see it all the time. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's not tough to go from like, hey, I got my life planned out. I'm attached to this person, and then boom, it's all over with. But 90% of the time, if the relationship was in such a state where that was the only way you could even just live, you're better on the other side. When you're single because the alternative was staying with somebody who was bad for your mental health, who tried to steal your peace, who gaslit your reality, convinced you that you were the problem, like you left that, you rebuilt yourself, then people want to just try to rush back into date. No, your singleness isn't loneliness. It's liberation. And I want y'all to understand that for yourself. You're not lonely. You're finally in good company, your own. And sometimes the older generation don't understand it. Sometimes your friends and family don't understand it. So what? They didn't have to live in that. They don't know what you was going through behind closed doors. Again, I am all for the family structure being strong. In fact, that's my purpose. I want to restore the family values that we once upon a time had. That's my whole goal. But there is no restoring family values while we continue to neglect the need to value everybody in the relationship, not putting everything on the shoulders of one person and saying, okay, because you're a woman, it's your job to carry everything. Ain't nothing family valuing about that. Now, are there healthy relationships out here? Absolutely. I'm in one. I'm in the healthiest relationship I ever been in. Largely because I'm doing better. I'm contributing better. Y'all know, I'm going to just keep it real with you. But healthy relationships do exist. Okay. I don't want to paint a bad picture of relationships and everybody in relationships is just doing bad. No, that's not the case. But we got to be real. As a woman in today's dating climate, if you're single, it likely means ain't nobody lying to you. Ain't nobody cheating on you. Ain't nobody making you question your sanity. So why is it that we by default call that sad? And the audacity of both men and women to criticize single women while being exactly why women stay single, the men and the dating choices being underwhelming, the women and you seeing them getting dogged out and they're making ways to try to tolerate it and make excuses for it. Like that's the reason why a lot of women are single too. Y'all see what's going on around you. Men and women, by the way. Men and women. But your single status is a direct review of what's available in today's dating market. The reviews are not good. Men who can't text back consistently, keep women in rotation, keep strings attached to their exes, lie about their intentions, waste years of your time. Those are the same men that shame women for being single, but your singleness is your business decision. After reviewing the product quality, most men are offering discount treatment at premium prices and you're smart enough not to buy. They want you submitting. They want you fine and fit. They want you friendly. They want you with no sexual history whatsoever. But they ain't reciprocating none of that. So no, to the single woman watching this, your singleness is not a problem. It is your solution to the problem of low quality options. Don't let nobody convince you different. Don't let nobody gaslight you into thinking that you taking the L by default. Don't let nobody make it seem like, oh, you still single? No, you're finally single. After being emotionally imprisoned by somebody who called it love. Yes, that language matters. Still single implies failure. Finally single implies freedom. That's closer to the truth for most women who are single today. That quote unquote loneliness of being single, it don't compare to the loneliness of being in a relationship with somebody who makes you feel like you're alone. Relationship loneliness, that's the most devastating kind because you're lonely right next to somebody who's supposed to prevent that. You constantly have to live in that rejection and that abandonment. Even it's just a matter of them not having the emotional intelligence to quite see you and understand you completely. I know I'm moving kind of fast. If I'm making sense, please put facts down in the comments. So hit the little arrow down here. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. Matter of fact, I want somebody who's not afraid to tell the truth. You ain't even got to be the one to tell it. Big bro will tell it. But hit the little share button, the little arrow down there. If you understand what I'm saying, you picking up what I'm putting down. If you can remember when you was lying next to that man feeling completely disconnected. If you can remember being in the same room, but emotionally miles apart. If you can remember telling him how you felt, but being dismissed, being ignored, being told you always like to argue, you're always looking for something. This is always drama, not a good time, et cetera, et cetera. That loneliness, that was suffocating because it came with the betrayal of being lonely next to somebody who claimed to love you. Your comfort in your singleness, it might have certain moments where it don't feel so good, but at least there's no soul crushing isolation of being unseen by somebody who sleeps right next to you every single day. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. They done called me a whole lot of stuff. One thing they ain't been able to do is point out a single lie that I've told. And so if we get real honest about today's dating pool and the fact that it's so contaminated that being single is actually the healthier choice in most situations, it'll make a lot more sense why a lot of women who are relationship material, wife material, are choosing to remain single. I'm not here to bash my brother. I just want to call a spade a spade. The majority of brothers available, they aren't offering anything worth disrupting your peace for. They're not. They're not. They're not. So your pickiness isn't the problem. Their inadequacy is. Let's be real. Let's be real. Like, what's really out here in the dating pool? Dudes who hide in whole families, multiple baby mamas that they still sleeping with, the debt they ain't telling you about, but they need to borrow something, zero emotional intelligence, men who want traditional wives, but they want those traditional wives that have modern financial independence. We're not even going to get on the 50-50 conversation. I'm not mad at people who want to split bills. Absolutely, teamwork, make the dream work. I'm all for it, but choose one. How you want this woman to play the traditional role of a submissive, supportive woman, but then also play half of your role of the traditional provider. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. Somebody tell me. So, in my opinion, being single allows a woman to hear her own thoughts again after years of somebody else's voice drowning out her own intuition, because she felt like she needed to be submissive and she needed to be supportive. And when you come out of that, of course, you don't mind staying out of that. And then when you come out of that, you've now learned a lot of the red flags that indicate that's what you would be getting back into. That's what people don't talk about. When you get into an unhealthy relationship, there's a lot of things that you didn't know, right? But it becomes like a master class. Like you get a PhD in toxicity by being in a toxic relationship. And so when you come out of that, now you can see things you didn't see before. So of course you're slower to get in a relationship. And by the way, like I said before, if you have ever been blindsided by a toxic relationship, a toxic partner, somebody that was able to fool you, a covert narcissist, etc. Like basically they got one over on you. You didn't see the red flags the first time. You don't have to try and wing it the next time that you decide you want to open your heart up. You don't have to go in just trying to trial and error with your heart anymore. You're just like the thousands of women who call my book, Don't Forget Your Crown, a Blessing to Read. Because I literally equip you with exactly what to look for to spot the covert narcissist, to spot the toxic traits of a man that a lot of people aren't talking about. Again, I'm not even selling it to you. It's on Amazon. It sells just fine. It's $30 on Amazon if you want to go get it. Or you can get it for free. I'll send it to you for free. Comment the word crown. That'll be my gift to you. You watching this right now, and you can relate to anything I've said so far. I got a gift for you. Comment the word crown. I'll send it to you. It'll be inside my inner circle so that it makes sense. I put the directions in there, but it'll be inside of my self-crown inner circle. That's my private community. And once you get in the classroom section, you'll see that book along with all 15 of my books, ebooks, audiobooks, etc. They're yours to keep forever. You can cancel the membership or whatever. They're yours to keep forever because there's no contract, no commitment, cancel anytime. This is literally my books for free, which is kind of crazy, but comment crown and I got you. Because if you're the woman that ever had to accept, that closure can't come from a person that refuses to change, but rather your closure's got to come from a changed mindset instead, my book, Don't Forget Your Crown, is for you. It will guide you through that transformation. But moral of the story is this. Being single is not a curse. Being single is not the horror story people try to convince you that it is. People try to make it out to be. A lot of that comes from a lot of men's ego of feeling like, without us, y'all ain't okay. Or y'all shouldn't be able to believe that you'll be okay. And I'm not saying you should go out here, guard your heart, and never want to be back in a relationship ever again. I do believe we are better together. I do believe both men and women need each other. But we need each other healthy. We need each other reciprocating. We need each other fully prepared. We need each other properly raised. We need each other whole. Anything less than that, and a person who is already content in their singleness don't need it. Don't need it at all. So don't get it twisted in thinking your singleness is just loneliness. Again, it is liberation from somebody who made you feel alone when you were together. And if you escape that, you won. Those are just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Yes, the book is free today. It is my best selling book ever. I think 300,000 copies sold of that one by itself. Don't forget your crown. But you can get access to it for free. If you go on Amazon, you can get it there, or Audible, or whatever, Kindle. But if you want it for free, comment crown. Comment the word crown, and I got you. I'm your internet big bro. Holla at y'all later. Oh yeah, share this if you got anything valuable from it. Anything whatsoever. If I said something true, find a little